We've already built the Upper Churchill some considerable time ago, back in the 60s. We're now building the Lower Churchill, which is, again, a world-class project. And you've got the Boondoggle Buffoon, I couldn't call him anything different, who happens to be the chair of Nalcor, who was out, trashing this project. I don't know how he keeps his job. Nobody else that I know in the corporate world would be allowed to stay on as CEO who's out saying, this is a boondoggle, or this is worse than the Upper Churchill, and making those kinds of statements, and at the same time hold tens of millions of dollars of shares in a company, Fortis, that's looking to do business with the province of Newfoundland and Labrador and with Nalcor. So I don't get it. Some people need to really ask some tough questions of Stan Marshall.
Well, one of the questions would be, the definition of a boondoggle is using money for no good reason, and now this thing is almost double its original budget, and it's taxpayers' money, so wouldn't that fit the definition of a boondoggle?
Well, no, not at all. Stan Marshall knows what a boondoggle is because he created one and built one in Belize, and Robert Kennedy actually called it that when he was chairman of Fortis. I attended Noya last Tuesday, and I watched the oil and gas community heap rightful praise on the builder and the project manager of the Hebron project. Now, that Hebron project, when it was first sanctioned, was at $8 billion. That closed at $14 billion. That was built by the best companies in the world. I didn't see anybody out there asking for that to be terminated or criticizing it or calling it a boondoggle. It was considered to be a great feat. There was a recognition that there's increased cost. There's a recognition as well that as you improve a project, you put money into doing that. Yes, there's overruns. These projects are built at a time when construction costs, and I know it because I was in the middle of it, were probably at their all-time highest. So, yeah, you can't make excuses for overruns, but by the same token, they're fact of life, and they happen. And why is there a different standard being used for the Valley Inco project, which was 3 or 4 times over budget, Hebron, which was twice budget, and Muskrat Falls, which is probably going to be close to the same. But no, Muskrat Falls gets targeted, and that's for political reasons.
What do you think is telling the truth, Premier Dwight Ball or Ed Martin, former CEO?
I wasn't allowed to call anyone a liar in the House of Assembly, and I'm not about to do it now. But having said this, the way I look at it, on Friday, the statement that was made was basically given to the press and given to the public that Ed Martin had basically deep-fived or deep-sixed, whatever the term happens to be, a report that was given and sent to him by SNC Lavalin. As of yesterday, after Mr. Martin came out and said, never saw it, never got it, the statement from government is that, yeah, this is an internal report for SNC Lavalin. It might have, the company told us that they might have been in a room when they thought they were going to present it to him. Now, not sent to the Nalcor, not sent to the CEO, an internal document, and he might have been in the room when it might have been presented. That's bullshit.